Hey guys, welcome back. On this episode, we're going to look at prepping this body and staining it. It's pretty clear that I need to do some grain filling in certain areas, and also there are few blemishes here and there. To do so, I have some cherry grain filler pending from one of my previous projects, so I'm just going to use this. The idea here is I want to level it out, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to actually go with a thinner layer on the sides and literally apply it by hand, and then I'll thicken it up a bit, and I'll try and do the top, because I think at the end of the day, it's usually the back and the front where you take notice more of how smooth the guitar is, and the belly carve. But the sides, as long as they are, I would say, more or less smooth, we should be good. Another thing I've done is I've just stuffed these major holes with some tissue. Hopefully it'll remain in place. And that's just to avoid any build-up. I don't want to risk putting any on the top, so I'm just going to keep it flat anyway. And I'll just work around it. So I'm just going to work this through here. So the next morning, I don't know if you can tell, but the amount of sanding I'm going to require is going to be really minimal. I will start to spend a few minutes on any excess filler that is here. I could just use a screwdriver in this case. There we go. That's much cleaner. I might either sand it here inside, or I'll take it outside depending on the weather. Some clean steel wool, and I'm just going to go over it very gently. I'm applying little to no pressure. There was a dent over here, so that seems to have been addressed. I'll just round it off nicely. It's actually looking better. Guys, I've got a window of opportunity, literally. We've got some sun outdoors. I'm going with Gunstock 231, it says. It's from Minmax. I'll give it a good shake. Put some gloves on, wipe down the surface. Hopefully you see that grain pop. Better. I have someone at the door, which means I need to really wipe this down, make sure there's no drips or anything. This stuff dries relatively fast. So now we've given this body about 18 hours to dry. I don't like the color, it's just too flat and plain. I think we can do better. I wanted this to be dark wine red, and I went to 2 hardware stores. I just couldn't find the color I'm looking for. And one of the gents out there was kind enough to give me a bit of purple, which I'm going to now mix with my gun stock, and I'm going to try and come up with something that looks nice. Now, whatever I do on the top over here, I have to match with the headstock. So I'm just about to tape the headstock, and then we'll get about staining it. I've got this little lid that I'm going to use. to mix this purple dye with the gunstock finish. So let's just get a little over here. Yeah, drop a little here. There we go. Should be enough. So let's see what we come up with after mixing this. That color looks quite nice. So maybe we're onto something here. Okay, so this is drying. It's been about 2 hours. But what I'd like is to have a little more of a darker brown here. I was even tempted to go gray, but I think I'm going to go with one more coat of the gunstock finish, and then we'll see how it goes. So from the looks of it, I think I might have to go with 3 coats. I want it even darker than this. Hey guys, so I wanted to do something different, and I went and got some wipe on poly, and I've had mixed results. So if you see the back, it's turned out pretty good, the back and the sides. I've got 2 or 3 layers of wipe on poly there. The front was a bit harder with the poly because maybe I didn't allow a thick enough coat to build. So it's more of a matty kind of finish rather than a gloss, but still pretty good. I was hoping that the stain I put on the headstock would stay, but I think there's probably I needed to sand it down before applying the stain because most of it just rubbed right off. So I've decided to leave it as is because I'm going to be putting the tuners plus maybe something over here. So I thought best leave it as is. We've got a bit of the hint of the color here. Once we finish it, we'll see how it looks. If it's not that great, we can always go back and do it again. I wouldn't recommend going down the wipe on poly route, at least based on my experiences, especially for someone doing it for the first time, because you'd probably get better results with Danish oil, and it's so much easier to apply than wipe on poly.